Well, here we are in late June 2018, back out in the Everglades in the Holy Lands. And coming out here from the coast, there's somebody in a boat. But it's a weekday, and I don't get out here very often on weekdays, but I wanted to do it, and I figured there probably wouldn't be too many people out here. But that's a nice boat too. See if I can see any gators and whatnot. The interesting thing about today is a little hotter. I got a later start. It's 11:30 right now. Normally I'm out here by no later than 10 anyway. And when I left my house about 91, freeway coming out here about 93. And I get out here and it's just under 90. It's 89.6 on my GPS. Probably because of all the water, but I just found that odd, you know, kind of in the summer here. Anyway, so last week I did the video where I was exploring how to get to Billie Swamp Safari coming through the Holy Lands, and I was calling it Rottenberger. It's probably Rotenberger, the other land that's adjacent to the Holy Lands, Rotenberger. Hopefully that's how the correct pronunciation. So we're going to do that again today, now that I took all, oh, what's this? That is a turtle. Little turtle. Didn't mean to scare him, but I'm trying to stay over here on this side so we can see if there's any gators out in the canal. I'm running my small camera again today, my helmet camera, Cena 10C. And it's also, I may not have mentioned it last video, I have it running in 720 rather than 1080, just so I can have more storage space on it. I have a 32 gig card in there, and I probably should be running it at 1080, but it looks fine to me at 720, so that's where it is, just in case all you techno buffs are wondering what's what out here. I'm on a 2016 BMW adventure bike, and the total ride today, based on last week, will be about 180 miles, and about 40% of that will be off-road. There you have it. That's the stats for the day. Nice day. It's supposed to be build-ups and rain coming, but it's been that forecast every day, and I wanted to do this ride yesterday, and I didn't because it looked like it was going to build up, and then it never did. And I stayed home. It was beautiful, and kind of upset. Of course, hard to tell what it's doing out here. I'm about, as the crow flies, probably about 30 miles west of my house. I'm out on the coast, the east coast of Florida, southern Florida down here. And so obviously I can't tell what the weather is out here other than just looking on the apps or whatever and seeing what's going on. But out of my house it was supposed to be bad and rain and all these bad forecasts, and it never did. It's about like it is right now. All day yesterday it was hot. But got a lot of chores done. Ticked off the honey-do list. And today, more on the honey-do list. Wife was not happy that I wanted to go riding, but we're painting the house, and I got other paint samples for the inside and other various chores. But she didn't put up too much of a fight, probably because she knows I'll be in the honey-do prison for the next few days anyway, until the weekend we'll go again. Anyway, enough of that. So this is the road portion. Leading up to the off-road portion will be just in front of us a couple miles. And I'll stop for a second and put it in the Enduro Pro mode on this bike. It's been fairly dry, you know, a little bit of mud in the puddles, but as I commented on my last couple rides out here over the past couple weeks, this is my third ride in 2 weeks on the off-road out here. Went up to Clewiston. Well, the first day I've been doing that ride for a good while. It's kind of my main staple. Go up there. Guys I have some buddies that rode bikes, and I'll meet them up there for lunch, and then just usually ride back with them on the road. I've got my Harley. Oh, there's a gator right there. Nice one, a little one, but nice. There's another one right there. I think I talked about this before. The gators are pretty skittish. A couple years ago when I started coming out here on a bike, when I first bought this, the gators were everywhere, and you couldn't scare them away. You could stand right here and stare at them for 15 minutes. But last year, I'm not sure what happened, but boy, you got within a football field of them. Is that one right? No, that's just bushes. And they ran. I mean, even the spikes, quiet, coming up on them at 30 or 40 miles an hour, so they really can't hear you coming. And down they go. They can hear you. See all these cars parked up here. That's kind of interesting. Okay, here's the off-road portion. This has been open. This is a really nice boat launch ramp. It's been open on the weekends. Let's see if it's open today. I've been going in there. Yeah, it's open today. I'll be darned. I don't know what all those cars are. They almost look a little bit like they're the Florida wildlife cars. I guess we'll find out in a minute. I've been coming in here because it's just so nice. This had been closed, or every time I was here it was closed for the launch. Shoot, boy, you're going to get run over. Oh, they got a fish. That's why. They're all over that fish. This was always closed. And then a few months back I was down here and it was open. I came in here. Man, it's just pretty. It's just this pristine boat launch ramp. And so, let me see. All right, sorry about that. I had to take a phone call. But, so we made our turn onto the road out towards Billie Swamp Safari. So I came down that main road where I had to turn the camera off. I'm not sure exactly where it was when I turned the camera off. But we're heading westbound right now on this canal. And you probably can't see it in the camera, but we're coming up on the next pump station. And last time when I came out here last week, I was kind of finding my way. So I turned the camera off at points, and I was more interested in finding the right road. So I'll leave it on for a couple of these things. So if you decide to come out here and track any of this, it'll be a little easier for you. A couple of wet patches. I keep seeing deer through here. The last 2 times, which are the only 2 times that I've come through here, probably ought to slow down a little bit. Right in here, right in this patch here is where all the deer keep coming out in front of me. And they keep coming from the left. So I guess I'll probably get over here on the right-hand side of the road. But they keep coming from the left, the canal side, and coming across over to my right. And they're really hard to see in this brush. They're not very big deer. And then this brush is taller than it looks. Down in the marsh, they're probably water's probably a quarter way, if not halfway up their legs. So they're really sitting down low in that. I might go back over here and see if we can see some gators. I think I talked about it before. When you get this thing in Enduro Pro mode like it is right now, it kind of lets go of the analog brakes and traction control and all that kind of stuff. So when you go to smack the brakes on in Enduro Pro mode, the rear wheel just skids. It's got that hide now rear tire, which is great. But one of the things that makes it great is the tread pattern is such that as you're riding on the highway or you're riding on the roads, the center of the tire will always be on the road. There's no break in the knobbies. It's just on the center while you're straight up and down. But off-road, that's not good because when I hit it, it's got a nice soft... Oop, that was a big old grasshopper. Nice soft center part, and just skids if you're straight. Alright, I didn't really see much in the way of gators. Okay, so this is the pump station. This is my 3rd time to this pump station. The first time I didn't go any further. I was going up to Clewiston, and I just sidetracked down here to the pump station just to kind of check this area out. So, let's see. I can't believe how many... By the way, while I was on the phone, I passed more Florida wildlife trucks. I don't know what the deal is, if they've got a parking lot out here or whatever, but there's got to be 15 trucks out here. Well, I say 15. There were 7, and I think I passed, well, it was at least 5 more. They're all parked. Nobody's moving, so that's a dozen anyway. We'll count, if they're still there on the way back, we'll count them. Nobody was walking around, so I don't know if they're just parked out there or what the deal is. Alright, so this is where we kind of make a big S, but it's only a couple miles, and it spits us out on the highway. And we'll continue. We'll do the off-road portion again. I'm going to try actually one new road. It's not going to be as nice of a road, I think. We shall see. So we are heading south. And then I think it's going to take a left turn here, go east, and then it'll take us down to this little freeway, and we'll just go oh, I don't know, not even a half mile on the freeway or highway. .7 degrees now. Can't see it. 55 miles an hour. Slow down, like I said. You kind of got to start slowing down a little early because the rear wheel will just start skinning. That's right, I'm sorry. We're going to turn right first out to the west, and then we're going to go, there's the canal right in front of us, and then we're going to go left up here and parallel the canal. So the other thing that happens here is when we're not that pump station we just passed, but I didn't have the camera on. I'll have the camera on, I'm sure, going back. The first pump station we come to on this ride. Everything after that, at some point we run into the res land, out in the reservation out here. Instead of, I don't know if that's state land or federal land back there. We'll come through the Holy Lands and Rotenberger. Come out of the Holy Lands, or come out of the state land, or whatever it is back there, tend not to see as much wildlife. Of course, I say that not being, see, it skids a little bit and it makes it a little squirrely, but that's fine. It's just real gravelly. This week, you probably can't tell through the camera. There's no little bit of sand. You hit the sand patches while you're turning, and then the rear wheel's kind of maybe not skidding, but not turning as fast as the bike's going, so it kind of comes out. Nice big 550-pound bike. Alright, so you probably, well, you might not see the camera. We've got the cars going by in front of us. So that's the little highway we'll be on briefly. Last week, I kind of have my turns down a little bit now. Alright, hopefully nobody coming. We'll be able to get out here. Nobody coming from the left. Yeah, they're way down there on the right, but plenty enough room for us to come out here. Somebody's on the road. Hate that. Following people on dirt roads. Oh well. Let's see what we got here. Just want to catch up to him, whatever it is. We're gonna have to go really slow, or yeah, you can see there's almost no wind. It's just, the dust is just kind of hovering. What is that? Looks like farm equipment. Something big. Alright, so as I say, okay, so here's the road. I want to try these roads right here. These roads do not look anywhere near as nice as the roads like this one I'm on or whatever, but let's give it a shot and see. This is going to pop us out in a little bit north. The other road I took, the main road, is down south a little bit further, but this should be fine. We'll see. Now there's a road on the south side too of this canal. I'm just randomly picking this north road to see what happens here. It looks like it's been raining out here. It's a little wet. It's kind of interesting, a lot of dust on that road, but this one's all packed down, which is good. So we'll see. It shows the canal on my GPS. I just don't remember how far I can go. And I can't remember if I was supposed to be on the other side, if there's a bridge or whatever. I think this all runs into the same place. We'll find out in a minute. When I say a minute, I think I have to go a ways. Find out. Oh, a couple of bumps there. Well, this, I doubt that this is very, very well traveled. Might see something out here, never know. On the road less traveled. Oh yeah, a couple of bumps, that's for sure. Definitely all cupped and bumpy. Need a kidney belt for this stuff. Nice. Okay, it looks like there's a dike here. A dam or dike or something. Find out in a minute. Find out if I took the right road or the wrong road, or if I can cross it. Alright, let's see what we got going here. Well, apparently I'm on the... Can I keep going? I think I can. I think I might keep going. So if I was on that side, I don't know if it allows me to go through there or not. I'll try it. See what happens. This is definitely not the road more traveled. Not quite sure. We'll find out. Go down here and see. I'm gonna guess this doesn't get traveled much at all. I don't see any tracks. Definitely wet. Let's see what we got here. Little bump. Flooding into their fields. I haven't seen any gators yet either. going to say this doesn't get traveled much at all. I am, I don't know if I'm on a road anymore. Looks like it gets mowed though. Maybe that's all it sees out here is just the mower. Oh, there's a little bit of mud or something. Oh, yeah, it's definitely in the mud. Probably want to get up on the high lane. Oh, yeah, that's mud. I think I'll stay up here where it's not so muddy. Let myself get too far down in the mud. Stay up here on the high ground. Alright, I think I might have hit a dead end here. And mud. Nope, maybe not. Yeah. I don't know how far I can go in this. Getting a little... Let's see here. I remember when I drove this the other day, it was kind of a long road. Might have to turn the camera off. Seems to be going along. Just wish I had a gauge on how far I had to go in here. Kind of looking way out in front of me to see if where the intersecting road would be. Kind of cool being down this low to the canal, but at the same time, a little hard to tell where the firm road is. Oh, and the bumps. I'm almost a little surprised I haven't seen a gator up here anywhere. Going here. The road sign, that's kind of interesting. Oh, sand, Scott's best friend. Alright, I just popped off of that little road. That was a good little road. A couple little challenging areas. So we're heading south now. I'm back on the main road. So that road was slower going. Little patches of sand. Not deep sand or anything. Just a little couple patches here and there. And a little bit of mud, which is hard to see because you're in the grass, and all of a sudden you hit it, the front wheel starts to go sideways. And let's see if this is the bridge. See the antenna down there, and this is the bridge. Okay, so I came in from down there before and up here, so not bad at all. We'll go through here. Nobody here fishing today. Weekday, everybody's working. One of my lucky days to get away on a weekday. Guess they were drinking Budweiser when they were out here on a weekend. Alright, so we should be getting... We are probably about 3/4 of the way into this ride. If you were here for me on the last ride, we did all this stuff. And we hit a couple areas like this. I'm trying to pick my areas carefully here and not get in the mud, but I'm not worried about getting dirty. I'm just worried about the squiggly front end stuff. It's not a KTM or a light bike, it's a big bike. So, yeah, a little bit of sand there. Yeah, we've definitely figured out these bikes do not like sand. If you're going straight, it's not so bad, just, you know, kind of like everything else, lean back and gas it. But if you got to got to make turns in the sand, it's not pleasant. Not on these bikes anyway. So I got a little bit of rain. This is even drier than when I was out here a couple days ago. I think I came out here on Saturday and today is Tuesday. So just a few days ago, and I know it's been raining out here. I guess it hasn't been raining enough, or it hasn't been raining enough that it's soaked it or anything. I'm going about 55, and a little hard for me at this speed to keep much of an eye on the canal, mainly because I'm not familiar with this road. This is only my second time down this road. Not to mention, you know, I kind of don't want to go through these patches of mud or anything. I'll look at the video later, see if I missed any gators, although like I say, the gators go sounding it. Oop, well, didn't see that one. Couldn't quite turn. A little bit of sand before I got to it, so I couldn't turn. Lean back and gas it. That's all you can do. Yeah, another one. Maybe take it off the side here. Yeah, close enough. Okay, so we're definitely out on the res, by the way, now. Miccosukee, I think is how you pronounce it. Miccosukee Indian Reservation. That was definitely mud. Sure. Oh. That's mud. That all went up my legs. All that water. Nice and warm though. That's like water's like sauna. Damn it! I hate it when the road goes kind of lets down, like left and then right, and it kind of think quick left right with the wheel. That's mud. That's mud. Well, that's a little more mud today. Let's see if I can take this one here a little bit high. Most of the stuff's kind of hard pack underneath, and you really don't have to work for it that much, but there's a little bit of work back there. Wears you out, all that work. Of course, there's really no need to be going that speed, but some of that stuff's good. Maybe it rained a little more here than it did back there. Who knows? I don't know. There we go, picking our lines. Get out of that mud, only to get over in this mud. But there's less mud over here. Ready for a break. Kind of funny when you get this big old bike, call it an old man bike, but man, you start going through the mud and everything, it's a heavy bike. Yeah, you can see it, it's kind of got a little bit of a mud buildup to it, so it must have definitely, and I can see some tracks, so somebody's been out here. The tracks are pretty fresh too. You know, definitely today, or certainly recent. We're coming up on the, I think that's the end of the road. No, maybe not. That was the end. Whoa, digging down on that one. So this looks like a, what kind of car? No, it's a truck. All those wildlife people, but that doesn't look like a wildlife truck. But I'm on the reservation now, so I don't know if those people come out here or not. And I don't see anybody fishing either. Yeah, definitely a little. It's not wet, but it is wetter. Let's see if I can take this as high as I can. Oh, I gotta go through the mud to get away from the mud. Man, going around it, zigzag. Mud didn't have the courtesy to stay on one side, did it? Oh boy. Kind of hard pack underneath there anyway, usually. Not today with cameras on watching me struggle. Trying to find the end of the road up here. Still don't see it. Wasn't that far away. Iced tea at Billie Swamp Safari here in a few minutes. If I make it there with all this mud. Oh, yeah, it looked like mud and then it wasn't. Hard pack. Good. that definitely looked like mud, and it felt like it, but not too bad. Yeah, we're going through it. Oh. That went up on my visor, the water. So I don't know if it got on the camera. That water was kind of deep. But that's the way it goes. Kind of smoked my, I cleaned the bike with a electric pressure washer, you know, light duty stuff, and being careful not to jam it in there, just light from a distance, and I killed it. Had that pressure washer for years, and so went out and got another one at Lowe's yesterday. Greenworks. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of nice. Got its onboard soap thing and a little pressure soap it up and kind of scrubbing the nooks and crannies a little bit, and then just hold the wand, you know, a good foot and a half away. And comes out a whole lot cleaner than it does with a hose. It definitely rained here. Man, look at this. This is definitely far muddier. Oh, see, that's bad. That ain't gonna be pretty. Oh. Lots of fun. When in Rome, right? Just the way it goes. Probably shouldn't slow down for that. Would have been better just going through it. But oh well. It was a big one. That wasn't as pleasant as Saturday. A few more challenges. See what this one has. I think we're better off on this side. Slowing down a lot more. Must be getting scared. And this is the street. Alright. I guess they got bullets out here in a res, because that sign shot up. Alright. Wow. Gonna be looking forward to my iced tea. Anyway, I got some water. Probably gonna drink that first. I'm drenched. Guess the pressure sprayer is gonna be getting some good use. About 1 o'clock. We should be coming up on the entrance. I only shut down the camera for a brief period here. Thought I'd film coming into Billie Swamp. There it is right up in front of us. The sign's coming from the other way because we're coming in from where nobody would come in from, but you see the Billie Swamp Safari anyway. We're not coming in from the normal way, for sure. I'm hungry. I didn't bring anything to eat. I'm sure that there's stuff to eat here, but I don't have time. I hope that nothing will build up. I'll look on the phone app when I get in here. But if there's any buildups, then I'll have to have a tea and skedaddle pretty quick. I imagine it can't be that crowded on a weekday. Yeah, there's people here. Definitely people here. So if I got my table and my spot, yep, nobody's there. Park on my same spot I did on Saturday, right here, with my parrot buddies. All right. Shut everything off. Oh. Got the kickstand a little too high here on the stuff. This should be good right there. Well. There's my parrot buddies. There they are. How you guys doing today? You say you're not as talkative, but we'll see. All right, we're gonna have an iced tea real quick. All right, we're leaving Billie Swamp Safari. Yeah, the clouds don't look too bad, but the forecast says in about an hour and a half, it's going to close in around here, and pretty much most everything between here and where I'm going. A little bit to the north, but I don't see that happening. But just the same, much as I'd like to sit here and relax. Some school field trips out there today, so there's a lot of kids. They're being very well behaved. But just the same, trying to sit there and they're all swarmed around me. Not terribly relaxing. So off to go fight this mud a little bit more. So we turned southbound out of Billie Swamp. We're actually going southwest right now, heading 238. Aviation talk that would just be rounded off to 240. But anyway, reading what I see. Apparently hitting the bumps that I don't see. All right, back into the off-road again here. Just about. Patch here. Patch is in need. An on-road street that is really more of an off-road street. Well, I doubt these mud holes. There we go. Pitching off into the off-road now. So in the interest of time, what I was going to do was that when I turned down that very grassy, not a road paralleling the canal, I went down the road on the north side, and I wanted to go back on the road on the south side, but because I kind of feel bad about my wife wanted me to stay home and do the honey-do list. Probably would take me, I doubt it would take an extra 15 minutes to go down that road, but I'll just save it for another time, and we'll go back down the main road that we went down last week, since we did out and back on it once, so we'll do the back on it today. So when we get to the T in the road on the other side of the bridge, instead of turning left to go intercept the not a road roads, we will go right and down and intercept the main road. Whoop. Oh. Got to make a decision, right or left, right? You can't make a decision, you end up going right down the middle on the one thing you're trying to avoid. And of course, the other mistake there, I'm sure you motorcycle people can figure out, don't look at it. Wherever you look, that's where the motorcycle's going to go. Yikes. All right, scare myself sometimes. All right, oops, here's our trail right here. and all the mud that we can handle that we don't want. Hopefully, just take it easy going this way, and maybe if we get lucky, we'll find a better route. We'll see a couple of gators maybe. We won't have to go through so much mud. We'll see. We'll do this a little slower. Maybe I'll be able to pick my lines a little bit better. Still don't see much in the way of gators. That's the other nice part about going slower, is you can look for the gators. Alright. Pick our lines a little better here. Don't know that that will necessarily help, but it should. Let's see here. I don't really get up into the weeds too much. Let's try the weeds here. Oh, well, no, I can see the mud here. Good thing I can have the camera on for that. Oh, boy. All right, camera's coming off because now I got myself in trouble. All right, I got myself out of that pretty easy, but that could have been bad. So picking your lines isn't working good. Usually get up in that grass, and it's a higher ground, and the mud's not there. I committed myself to the grass, and it dropped down to the low ground. It was even muddier than where I was, and it was like a truck or something had gone through there, so my wheel went right into the deep rut, and there was no turning out of it. But luckily, after I turned the camera off, kind of turned the wheel, babied it up that rut, had to go up 2 of them, and luckily not much in the way of wheel spin, and it just kind of went out. I was a little nervous there. I might be digging my bike out, and it is, let's see what the temperature is here right now, 92.3. Really don't want to stop and have to be digging my bike out at 92.3. But I remember we had that one really bad puddle here, which I'm going to try with all my fiber to avoid. Probably will not be going off-road, or I mean into the grass like I just did. That didn't work out well. Thought that would work out. That's usually my mainstay, but I forget here. You're looking off to the right, you can kind of see how it all goes down. Pretty low. You don't want to get stuck going down there. It doesn't look too bad, but if I come up here where it's wet, it might be bad. All right. This road's supposed to be the easy road, and testing my mud skills here. Normally, like I said, it's kind of hard packed underneath, so you really don't hit any mud that messes you up. This is a little unusual. Glad the camera can be on for it and watch me work. I was laughing at myself. I was mentioning on the way out on this road, we just came, we're going eastbound now, we were coming out westbound towards Billie Swamp. Hey, this road seems a little further, going a little longer on it than I thought. Yeah, probably because of all the mud and slowing down, and you want it to be over with. There we go. So, I'm sure everybody's laughing at me rather than laughing with me, but hey, if you're going to make the video, make yourself a subject, right? Learn from my mistakes. There should be plenty to learn from. See how this goes up even higher, so that's working out fine. More lessons learned. There's that car over there. He's got the hatchback open. First I thought it was law enforcement, but it doesn't look like it. Oh, there they are. They're down there fishing now. I see them. Here comes somebody coming blasting along down that road. And worker of some sort. I don't remember how far we have to go until I get to that big puddle that my nemesis, the big puddle. We'll find it soon enough, I'm sure. And I'll try to measure out the high ground. Keep it on the high ground. See, that would have fooled me again. It kind of drops off and gets low over there. this one here gets high, so this right here should be fine. Yeah, look at that, nothing. Normally going through the water out here is just fun because the water's jacuzzi water, splashes up on you. Of course, I guess when it's already, right now it's saying, yeah, 90.5 degrees. So I guess if it's 91 degrees and you got 110 degree water splashing up on you, it's probably not refreshing. I gotta be coming up on my nemesis puddle here soon enough. No chance that it could have dried out that fast. It's another joke. As we like to say, a little humor. Very little. Alright, so this goes up high again, so I'm going to take it up high. Yeah, nice and dry. High and dry. Alright, where's my nemesis puddle? Keep looking for it. Don't see it. No chance it could have receded that fast. Oops. It's dry. High up here, high and dry. Gotta love it. I can see all my tracks, so I know I'm not at my nemesis puddle because there's all my tracks. But I'm waiting. I'm sure it's coming. There's my tracks. I'm practically going right over all my tracks coming out. I can't picture how this is going to be raining in an hour out here. Not even an hour and a half. This is pretty nice. That's still can't possibly be my nemesis puddle. I see my track going around it for one thing. My tracks right there, going around all this stuff. That can't be my nemesis puddle. This is way, I think I might, I'll just stay here. It's high enough, and we'll get in the grass. Fine. Couldn't see my tracks there. Ought to, what am I going this one where I can hard to say. I think I took that one the other way. I see my tracks going the other way on that one. Yeah, you see me. Didn't take that one very high. I'm gonna take this one. This looks nice and high and out of the mud, like Johnny Cash says, out of the mud and the blood and the beer. Making me thirsty though, talking about, well, I found a little mud there. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Nice little fishtail. Let's see here. No high part there. Oh, and there. There was no mud there. Just grunting it through the water. A little bit of mud there. Nothing to speak of. Still waiting for my nemesis water puddle. A little bit, not much. Not much at all. Got my map on so I can kind of see where this, see if I can tell where it turns to the right anyway. Looks like it's a ways down there. I can't even see it on the map yet. I think I see it, but I'm not sure. It's not on the map, but I think I can see it by eye. About maybe a mile. So it's was a little after 1 o'clock, 1:09. Sun's pretty much directly overhead. So all the shadows you see are clouds. Probably should be slowing down looking for gators. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Wow. Oh, that was a big one. I could feel all the dust building up in my nose. Probably from earlier from following that truck and stuff. Oh, get rid of that rock. We don't want to do that. That'd be a bad day. Alright, I see the house thing. Still kind of get my landmarks straight here on these roads. Now, going up to Clewiston now, I've just got it. I can practically do it blindfolded. I got it. I can see everything way ahead when it's coming. And on this road, obviously, I've only done it a couple of times. I wish I could just play music. I tried to do a couple of videos where I play music, and then YouTube bans it because they got, you know, protected rights on the music or whatever. And it didn't occur to me when I started making videos that that would be a problem. And, I mean, I was aware of it, but I don't know, I thought it was just a few songs. I thought maybe just some of the newer artists. I'm kind of a, you know, Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, all that kind of stuff, mostly. But I mean, I certainly like my fill of the 70s and 80s stuff, and even beyond. But anyway, I thought it was more the newer artists that were doing that, but I can't remember what I had on there. I want to, might have been Zeppelin, I can't remember, but it banned it. I mean, it just snagged it real quick. So now no music. You got to listen to me drone on. Keep looking for my nemesis puddle. I must have passed it. I mean, I guess it must have drained out a little bit. Strange, a little bit of mud there. So here's the bridge up in front of us. Now, I remember it's just a short distance, so I'll see that barn back there. Then I'll know where the end of the road is. So when we crossed the bridge, we actually came in from the north today, from the Not a Road, but we're going to go to the south, and you can see that tower way up in front of us. Maybe you can see it on the kind of almost slightly to the left of front. Anyway, that's the road we're going to intercept right there. It's about 3/4 of a mile, maybe half a mile. That's where we're headed, and we can go down here, but then I got to cross a mud patch to get to the road, so I'm not going to do that. There's this, that road is right on the edge of the canal, and this road right here will parallel it, but it's a better road, and I won't have to come to the mud patch. I'll show you the mud patch up here that I'm talking about. I'm just guessing if I'm seeing other mud in the road that it's probably going to be a little wet. It's kind of a low point, a low area from that road to this road. Well, you guys see, look down here to the right, you can see it's like a swale, and that's why I suspect that it will be wet, be muddy. It was muddy the other day. It wasn't terrible, but it seems a little wetter today than it was just a few days ago. So I'll show you that tower again. Should come, there it is, right there in front of us. That's the road we're looking for, radio tower. So getting my bearings down, all my landmarks. So distance-wise, the Not a Road, probably a little shorter distance. And see that we have to come through there. That doesn't look too bad. But the other two are up here. So the distance here is a little bit further, because from the bridge to the Not a Road was pretty short, 1/4 mile tops, maybe. And getting down here is probably closer to a mile. But having said that, this is a much higher speed route. There you go. Oh, that's not muddy at all. That was right there. Yeah, that's why I say not muddy at all. It's muddy, but not as bad as I thought it would be. This was pretty dry the other day, but there's a... That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, so anyway, we'll be able to keep up a better clip on this road. This road's probably is not as adventurous, but keep up a better clip. And look, my GPS is painting the road. Interesting. This is always a plus. Don't know that I need it now, but now I like the Not a Road. That was pretty cool. I got to tell you, like the one place that I got stuck that you got to see on the video, and thank goodness I was able to get out of that pretty quick and easy. But this bike's pretty damn heavy, and it'd be bad enough if you just went down on a road, but if you went down and the bike's one time when we were up in Utah, I came around a corner, there's all these big boulders in front of me, but I picked a nice line and off I went over the boulder, and the bike kind of bobbled. It hit a couple boulders and bobbled. No big deal, but the problem was when I was trying to milk on the throttle a little bit, the wheel was spinning, I wasn't going anywhere. I went to put my foot down, and there's nothing there. I was kind of on the top of the boulder, and the bike just kind of, it actually stayed upright for like 3 or 4 seconds, seemed like an eternity, and then it just did a slow timber and started to go. The problem was no place for me. I got my feet down, but there's no touch, and by the time the bike was over 45 degrees, which is more than you can hold it up, it was swinging pretty good, and that's about when my foot just started to touch the slippery boulder. The boulder is kind of also on about a 30-degree angle, but anyway, the bike went down, and it wasn't just 90 degrees, it was like 130 degrees over, and my buddies Andy and Scott came up behind me a couple minutes later. When they got done laughing at me, then they helped me pick up the bike. But if I'd have been by myself, that would have been some work getting the bike up. And that's all I could think about when I went off in that mud right there, is that this bike's going to go over and get snatched down, glued into this mud, and I'm not going to be able to get it back up. It's not like you can just put it up and put it on your kickstand. You have to get it up, and then you'd have to sit there and muscle it and walk it out of there, or if you thought you could get on it and ride it out. But now you're standing way down in the mud. You got to be able to get on your horse and have it not fall over again. I don't know, the whole thought process is not good. You're by yourself. 2 people is like having 4 people in a case like that. Just might not be able to get it. It's about the only thing riding these bikes is they're so heavy. They go down, you don't have anybody to help you. It's not like anybody's going to be by anytime soon on that road. About the only thing I saw going on that road was the lawn being cut, and it looked like it freshly cut, so I might be lucky if I saw somebody in a month. And my phone signal at Billie Swamp Safari is only 1 dot. I don't even know if I have any out here or not. Last year, or that is 2 years ago, got a flat tire out coming back from Lewiston, going down just like I'm going down a road like this, going about however fast I'm going. See how fast I'm going. I'm going 65, probably going whatever I was going to coming back from Lewiston, and all of a sudden my dash started flashing and everything. I got a flat tire. They was telling me that my tire was low. It's kind of cool to see the bike was new. I just put the Heidenauer tires. As a matter of fact, it was the shakedown ride for the Heidenauer front and rear tires, and I couldn't believe it. I actually had a flat. But the thing is, I was getting ready to trailer the bike out to New Mexico, and we were going to do the BDR routes in New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. And so I get to see all this stuff happen. I wasn't real happy about it. It was a hot day. But all of a sudden, the thing's blinking amber, and then it immediately comes up to the tire pressure. So you get to see which tire's low, and, I thought that was a snake for a second. Which tire's low, and what the pressure is in it. So I figure I'm going along, the rear tire is supposed to have 42 pounds, and I think it sort of flashed at me. We got down around low 30s or something like that. And I figure, all right, 25, because I knew I was going to come up on the pavement in a few miles, but it was leaking fast. Got to 25, I was still in the dirt, and I was like, okay, 20. And I got on the pavement at about 22, and it was a shade place 3 or 4 miles, and anyway, finally got through with about 17 or 18 pounds, just nursing it at like 35 miles an hour, and got practically my butt up on the tank and everything. But there I go. I had all my patching gear. Problem was, I couldn't find the hole. Couldn't find anything in the tire. Couldn't find a hole. Pulled my air thing out and hooked it up. Pumped up the tire. Everything worked perfect. Could not find a hole. And I was laying down the pavement. The pavement was hot enough to cook an egg on. Like, well, packed it all up, got on the road, and I mean, it's like leaking a pound a mile. And I've got to go 50 miles to get home. So there's going to be some stops. I went about however much I went. Stop here. Like I said, the rear wheel just skids on this stuff when you're going straight. Here comes the car, so let's get out in front of the car. Glad we got out in front of him instead of behind him. Alright, so we're going northbound now, pretty much, 330 anyway, northwest. And we'll intercept the highway road up in front of us. Anyway, so I got about down south towards, on 27 towards 75, and it got down to, you know, low 20s again. Stopped, pulled over, hooked up my air machine, and it didn't work. Like, what happened? Long story short, I couldn't figure out. I figured I killed the air machine, but I had been powering it off the charging cable, and the charging cable I think has like a 10 amp fuse or something, and anyway it popped the fuse. It didn't occur to me at the time, but I was right across the street from one of these gator places, so I just kind of got down to about 15 psi. I kind of limped across the street. They had an air compressor. They were really nice to me, let me air it up, and off I went. And that was my whole ride home, stopping every 5 or 10 minutes looking for air. Made it all the way home. Woke up the next morning, went out in the garage, found the hole really fast, and it was a puncture. Didn't have anything in it. It was just a puncture. Freak thing, you know, it was just sharp rock or something. It was close to this. It wasn't on the tread. It was on the flat part below the tread, but it was just a puncture, and it was a tiny hole. I couldn't believe that tiny hole was leaking air as fast as it was. So I decided I had two choices. I could alright, so anyway, I'm sorry, we're heading westbound here just for a short stint, get right on our off-road portion here. I could test out all my material and plug it, and then if that worked, leave it alone, or if it didn't work, then, you know, and it could take it off soon and patch it from the inside or whatever. So I decided, you know, here I'm getting ready to do all these BDR routes, I might as well get familiar with my equipment. So we're going northbound again here. That was Josie Billie Highway that we were on, paved one. So I plugged the tire, and yeah, I got this little plug thing with those little mushroom plugs. Oh my God, it worked great. The tools worked great. Everything worked great. Went right in, plugged it right up. You know, I hated to ream out a big hole where there was like a pinhole, but you know, that's the way it goes. That's for any kind of plug, whether you use the strand type or the mushroom, it doesn't matter. And we're great. And then I came out riding again out here, and it started leaking again. I'm like, damn, I got another flat. And again, I can't remember exactly what happened. This leak was much slower. It was, you know, the warning came on at like whatever, low 30s, but then it stayed there. I mean, I put a little air in it, and it stayed there. I got home. 50 miles and only leaked like 2 pounds or something, so it was obviously a slow leak. Turns out what it was the where I had patched with the mushroom thing, and this is one of the, I didn't realize it and I hadn't read about it, but if you patch with the mushrooms, because they're just rubber, there's just nothing in them, no twine or metal or anything. If you happen to get it, and there's a good chance you will, but if you happen to get it on the metal plies or anything in there, it'll slice them. And that's exactly what happened with mine. I couldn't see it from the outside, but I took the wheel off, broke the tire off, and boy, on the inside it had severed it. The mushroom was just barely hanging on. It's like somebody neatly took a knife and cut it in half. And when I put the reamer in there, I could see the metal, the strand that was cutting it. So So anyway, had it off. There's no big deal. Pulled it out. Lesson learned. Patched it from the inside, and have never had it. Got a couple, thousands of miles on it now. Anyway, a couple thousand, maybe 3, and never had an issue. There's 2 donkeys out here a couple days ago with the donkeys. I don't even see them in the thing. One donkey had his doing his business on the other donkey. I don't think he liked me pulling up on him. Anyway, so even though it cut it in half, even though the strand on the tire cut it in half, at least it still held air. So if you put a little air in it, it would be fine for, wherever you needed to go. Put a little air in here, a little air there. So that was good news. But so the mushrooms definitely are not a permanent plug. I've used the strand type on my trucks, 4-wheel drive stuff. Most of my historical bikes have been tube tires, so really never used anything like that on a motorcycle. I don't think I've ever used any kind of plugs on a motorcycle. They've all been tube tires. But that was the first. So anyway, lessons learned. The mushrooms work, but they probably won't last. Get you where they're going. The nice part too, I might add about that, some rambling about nothing here. Coming up on our, soon we're coming up on our, we're going this way, it'll be our first power pump station, but it's actually the second one coming out here. Is if you use the strand type, you have to douse it in glue. So when the time comes to patch it correctly, oops, yeah, there we go. Start to go that way. I'm sitting here talking, forgetting which way I'm going. Okay, there's the first power station, and we'll go down here. This is where I get all the deer. Deer kind of run out on me here. I see something in the road right there. Is that just a bird? Yeah, it's birds. Anyway, with the twine, the type, you have to use all the glue. So when you go to patch it, and you cut it from the inside, it's all going to be bonded with the glue. I couldn't tell you how hard it would be to get it off of there. I just know, you're going to be dealing with that. I say mess, it may not be that big of a mess. Maybe it'll all come off pretty easy. I don't know. But with the mushroom, it was just nothing. You just cut it, pull it out. No glue, no nothing. So it was very easy, very neat. And then I hot patched from the inside. Actually, I just used a glue patch from the inside, cleaned it off real good, glued it on, and let it sit. I think I let it sit for hours before I put it back together again, and I've never had a problem with it since. That's it. And here's since you're my captive audience, if you've chosen to listen this far, here's the worst part of the whole story. I don't know if it's the worst part or the best part. I intended to run these tires with the, and I can't remember the brand name, but no flat or whatever. Not the green stuff, not the slime, but the other stuff. It's not green, brown. I think it's called no flat. I'll look and see up on my next video. I'll look at it on home and I'll mention it on here. But anyway, whatever it is, it's the stuff that also balances your tire, balances the wheel. But on this shakedown mission where I hit the flat tire, I wanted to do it without. So I had balanced the tires myself. I've got a tire chain machine, so I took them off, mounted them, balanced them myself. And I wanted to just ride it without, give a shakedown mission. If I had had the no flat in there, it's entirely possible, if as small as that hole was, is that I would have never known about it. Never would have gone through any of that stuff. Never would have, I might have lost a little bit of air, and you probably, if I would have been looking at my tires, of course, you ride through all this stuff, your tires are dirty anyway, you're not going to notice it, but might have noticed a little, the gel spit might have come out to seal the hole, but probably wouldn't have, I would have got that would have happened to me, I wouldn't even have known about it. That was the irony. I wasn't sure whether to kick myself or whatever. I have to tell you, I am glad, I'm glad that I did know about it and that I did patch it. You never know when things like that are going to come back to bite. We went out riding on some pretty remote trails in, particularly in Colorado, well, I guess in Utah as well. Well, maybe all three, maybe. Probably not quite as much in New Mexico. Of course, once you get out a few miles, it's pretty remote. I mean, when you're in a place where cars can hardly come and get you, I guess that's remote. If you're 1 mile in, you're 10 miles in, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. But we took took a couple of routes in both New Mexico, in Colorado and Utah that were pretty far away. You wouldn't want to have problems, and it was hot too. But in Utah, we probably weren't anywhere that I can recall where. Let's look at that. What was that? I don't even know what that was. Some critter crawling along on the ground. In Utah, we're always somewhere where a car could have gotten to. That was a little snake, little baby snake. A car could have gotten to us pretty easy. In Colorado, there were lots of four-wheel ATVs, quads, and then what do they call them, UTVs or something like that. They were everywhere. So there were people, people could have helped you out, go get something, or at least call somebody to come get you. But I don't think you're going to see much in the way of four-wheel drive trucks coming and fetching you on some of the routes that we were on. It'd be a bad day. So it's kind of nice. I was actually a little surprised that my buddies, Scott and Andy, really didn't carry much. I mean, I've got tools and I've got lots of stuff for tire repair. I figure that's probably the main thing that's gonna get a hold of you. I've got plenty of other tools of other things to get you, but I just figure tires is probably gonna be the most common thing. So unless you shred a sidewall or something, of course if you did, you can put 3 or 4 plugs in it if you have to, just get you where you got to go. My son's car here last year, he had a flat. He had to leave his car there. He's got low profile tires. He had left it parked in some apartment complex, and then we went and got it next morning, and the hole was big enough for me to stick my thumb in. And but nothing 3 plugs couldn't handle. Not the mushrooms. I had used the regular glue. I had a big bottle of glue, and I was going to take the tire off, take the wheel off, but the tires were pretty worn out. And a big old hole, so I just stuffed it until it held air, and we went and got new tires the next day or whatever. I had my truck. I don't carry it with me all the time, but I had the air bottle in it, and like I say, he's got low profile tires, so it didn't take much. You got 100 pounds in the air bottle, you're good to go. Plug that bad boy up, aired it up, and got out of that apartment complex. Kind of funny, we went out there in the morning, and I'm underneath the car plugging it. Little by little, these people are kind of getting up and roaming around the parking lot. I want to say it was a weekend, going to work or anything. It was kind of funny. That whole process didn't take about 15 or 20 minutes. Well, probably going a little faster than I want to go if I ran into a deer, but I say ran into, if a deer came out in front of me. But it's later in the day, although I must say that it's not much later in the day. It's usually if you're middle of the day at any time for the deer to come out. Odd. I don't know how much hunting pressure they have out here. It shouldn't be hunting season until fall. But I think they hunt gators and obviously fishing and stuff. I don't know what hunting season is for other things out here. There might be other things that people can hunt out here. Alright, so here's what would be the first water pump station we'd come to, and if I was going to Clewiston, I would make a left here. But obviously I've got this Rotenberger sign right there. We would continue that way, straight, which would have been straight, left turn from here, going to Clewiston, or turn left at this sign to go to Billie Swamp, where we just went. To go home, go back out to Highway 27, I should say. This is gonna take us east back out to Highway 27. We're heading about 150 right now, but we're gonna go across this bridge over here and basically head out to the east, take us back out to 27. So these generators are working today. Last week or Saturday, I saw a couple of them on, and I noted that I really hadn't seen them on, and 2 of them are on. I think 3 of them were running the other day. 2 of them are on today. See, the diesel stacks are open. see much in the weather. I think we might have beat it out. I keep wanting to try that out. That road goes into the Holy Lands, and it looks like it goes in a big circle. It's like a maze, and there's really not a good way out. You know, almost like you probably have to come out the same way you came in. One of the ways out, I didn't have the camera on, but when you first get off of 27, there's a nice little parking lot with a little porta potty and, you know, whatever. But that gate's locked to come out of the Holy Lands, so you can't get out of there. There might be like one of these things. You might be, oh god, that looked like you would be coming through there on this bike. That was a big old mud bog. But there's probably a couple places to come out from over here. Oh dear! Holy shit, a lot of them too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come to think of it, this is where I was the other day, and then the buck came out somewhere. I don't know if I can see any of them. There they go, right over here. You see him kind of going into the brush. Let's see if he goes down in here somewhere. Oh, I'm going to go. Yep. And they're always coming from the canal back over there. Haven't broken the code. Alright, I gotta back off the speed a little bit. I thought I saw a gator go down too over there, right where they were. Actually, the gators are probably licking their chops. Let's see some vehicles up here. Kind of funny, I keep thinking that someday someone's going to be asking me where, oh, that's a tractor of some sort. What are they doing up here? What they're cutting or doing. That one coming. I'm not sure what they're doing with that. Maybe they mow some of the stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I don't get out here on weekdays very much. It's kind of I'm trying to think if I've ever been out. I think I've been out here once before on a weekday. I just like it because it's quieter. The getting here part and the getting home part, not so much. I got a little late start today. That was probably good for traffic. Getting out here, really didn't hit much in the way of traffic at all, and I'm trying to beat it on the way home. It's 1:37 right now. I'm probably not a half hour, man, 20-25 minutes from hitting the freeway. So sometime after 2 o'clock, hopefully be home by 3 o'clock. So that should be pretty good for beating out traffic. I would have liked to have gotten a little bit of earlier start. I've got my Mavic Air with me. I really wanted to fly it today, but based on, well, what I say based on weather, that was funny because I'll turn around and look behind me here a little bit. There's nothing going, like I said, there's nothing going on here. The forecast was the storm radar thing. They have it building up, particularly down to the south here, but as you can see, nothing's happening. Nothing at all. So I probably have all kinds of time, and I'm sure my wife wouldn't mind if I stopped for a little bit, but it is 91.5 degrees, and I either have to do weekend early start where it's cooler, probably be about 5 degrees cooler. Slow down just in case these are wildlife people. And the other thing I haven't done yet, and I really do want to do it, I don't know when I'll do it, kind of hard to do it because usually I'm the cook at home. I say I'm the cook, my wife does a lot of cooking too. It's just barbecue. We barbecue a lot. I did a built-in barbecue a couple years back, and we use it a lot, probably 5 nights a week on the barbecue, 4 or 5 anyway. So that's my contribution. We had my wife's folks over a couple times the past couple weeks and cooked steaks and salmon and stuff. I don't know if we can afford that stuff, but apparently my wife's springing for it for special occasions. It's my birthday, my daughter's birthday, my mother-in-law's birthday, and Father's Day, all within a short period of time. So I've had more cake and sugar and steaks and salmon. Of course, I used to live in Alaska, so I had my fair share of salmon up there, but that was only for a short spell. But while I was there, I certainly had enough of it. We took a Alaska cruise last year. Never been on a cruise. My wife and I, neither one of us, and when my wife and 2 kids, the 4 of us went on an Alaska cruise. It was nice. I don't know that I'm a cruise person. Maybe if I do it again, I'm sure we'll do it again at some point. My son hated it. I think he's looking for people his age to socialize with, and thought there were some people there, but then there wasn't. It just didn't work out. He was miserable. Didn't like it. I think he started to like it a little bit at the end, maybe. Well, I should say no. And I don't know if he liked it. He just didn't dislike it as bad as he did at the beginning. Maybe is the best way to say that. But there were some really neat times on the cruise where we got to see things, glaciers and stuff. The funny part was, or isn't funny, but when I used to fly up there, flew the bush up there, and I think it's about 81 or 82, whatever it was. Flew down in southeast Alaska, and so we used to fly, my buddy Andy and I, and Scott flew up there too, that area, the Glacier Bay National Park. So the boat we were on, it went up on the same routes where we used to take all the people from those boats and, you know, go buzz the boats while they were down inside Glacier Bay National Park. So it was kind of weird to be on the boat getting buzzed. But the company I flew for has long since been out of business, and it appears that nobody's really taken their place. They mostly float planes and mostly go up down in Juneau, Mendenhall Glacier, and all that kind of stuff. I really didn't see much happen at all out of Haines or Skagway for that matter. Skagway I was shocked. There's like, I must have stood around that airport for a couple hours. My wife and kids got bored at Skagway, wanted to go back to the boat. I was walking through the town. I was having a great time walking in the same places that I had walked, 40 years earlier. 35, 40, somewhere 35, 37 years earlier. I just couldn't believe it. And the whole time I'm walking around by the airport, I think I only saw like 3 planes take off. I'm like, what? If there was a cruise ship in there, there'd be 20 of us lined up to take off. We'd be coming and going, taking as many people as we could. On a cruise ship, slowing down because the truck up there, just in case they are. So it's just weird that business seems to be gone. In the summer months, that's kind of that's the bread and butter. Tourism is all these people. They don't live up there. They come up there for the tourism to work. And some of them have been coming up there every year for years and years. That's what that's all about. These people, they're civilian contractors or something come up here. These Florida. I looked these guys up the other day. These 2 guys. They back in 2001, October 2001. And they died 2 days apart. And I don't think I'd ever heard about it. Of course, 2001 was way before I started riding these roads, so I didn't know what it was. So I looked it up online, and it turns out they're both the FWC, the Florida Wildlife, and apparently this road that we're on kind of divides Broward County to the south and Palm Beach County to the north. So one of the guys was based in Palm Beach County, one of them in Broward County, and they were both driving on this road. There's a deer. You see, I don't know if you see the deer. He's on the road, running on the left side of the road right now. Just slow down just in case there's more that are going to run out in front of us. There he is. See him on the road right in the left right there. He's just galloping down the road. On the left, there he goes, off the road. No more deer. There he goes down the road. So these 2 FWC guys are going opposite direction on this road. and they crashed head on. And nobody seems to know why. But the sad, tragic part of it is one of them was killed on impact, and he was wearing a seatbelt. They were older cars. I noticed, that was one thing I noticed. It happened in 2001, but one of the vehicles was a 1993, and the other vehicle was like a 1997 or 8. So they were older vehicles, but in any event, it said both of them had their seatbelts on. One guy was killed instantly. I mean, that's just tough. And the other guy was taken out of here by helicopter and was in critical condition 2 days and died. So they died 2 days apart from the same accident. One killed on impact, and the other one died at the hospital after being airlifted out of here. And to the best of my knowledge, nobody still knows what happened. Alright, we're going to go up the road piece here, and then I will shift back into road mode. When I did this on Saturday, whenever I get around to posting these videos, when I look this direction I'm looking right now, it was all towering cumulus and rain, Virga and everything. It looked nasty. So I put the bike in rain mode. It's kind of funny, when I pulled the bike out to ride it today, it was still in rain mode. I forgot about that. But today, just put it in road mode. I turned my music on heading out of here, and then when I got on 27 heading south, I mean, it was just heading right into the, like, it looked like I'm going right into the eye of the storm. It was all, the sky was just black, and it looked like it was just going to rain and thunder. See lightning off to my left and cloud to ground. But I couldn't talk because I can't turn the music off or whatever. Yeah, I don't know any easy way to turn it off. I probably should learn a little bit more about it. So since I'm not really worried about that today, I will probably turn off now. There's nothing really else to see. And it will be, I'm going to pull off in the parking lot and put it in the road mode and be on the highway the rest of the way home. So until the next trip, we'll maybe do a little bit of adventuring on the Not a Road again. We'll take the one on the north side. I'm sorry, we took the north side this time. We'll take the south side one and see if that's any more treacherous, and try to find some new places to explore out here. By the way, something else I didn't know is off to my north here is the Holy Lands and all that, and then behind it is a Rotenberger. This one down here, Francis whatever, I didn't realize this thing's huge. This is hundreds of thousands of acres down here. These are like 30,000 or 40, you know, whatever. I think Rotenberger is 20 some odd, better part of 30,000. This is like 35,000. This is like 350,000 acres. This goes all the way down past 75, I think. So, but I think all that's closed. I don't think you can go on that one. This stuff here, it's all open. But we will continue to explore what we can on this bike. As you can see, it's got a few limitations if the mud gets real bad. So there's a gator right there, a little one. The mud gets bad or the sand's real bad. But we haven't been stopped yet on any of these roads up here. Keep you posted. Alright, thanks for riding along with me and listening to me jabber along the whole way.